Yay.
Just let me know when you guys are like live on your end, and then and then I'll do like introductions.
Okay, okay.
I am live on my end, although my Fugatex have just disappeared.
Oh, I love that.
Oh no.
Alright, well, let's figure that out, because they were literally just there. Probably because we got dragged into the other stage. It's probably like, no.
Oh no.
Okay, so... I'll just I'll just try deleting them. But for now, everyone can
I
just
don't
see
have
us
mine
as a
either.
ghost. Ooh, spooky. Okay, so... Hello, chat.
Go.
Yes, it is scuffed.
Yes, it is scuffed.
Just let us know, Pinky, if you fix the thing that happened.
So far, no.
It is not letting my Vookies work in this channel either.
Oh, that is weird.
Like, it might be a problem with the channel itself.
Yeah, we might just not have the right permissions to use it.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Okay, let me go get that then.
No
There we go.
worries.
Okay, let me video. Okay, so let me. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why it did that, but you should be able to now while I add and fix it a bit.
Okay, let me refresh my Foogie.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Let me go check the other settings too for the other stage. The other stage channel, so that way it doesn't have this issue.
Yeah, no, it still doesn't work. So, I'll finagle this. Yeah, if you guys just DM me a picture, I'll just work with that.
Yes. I got you. Will you send me your PNG too, Pinky?
Yes,
Okay. Gotcha.
That I can do. Okay.
Yeah, because I probably might send you the. Let me see. Where is that? I think this should be PNG. And then let me send it to you, Pinky. This is my cute little OC.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Alright,
Yeah, let me go.
just bear with us, chat. We'll get this sorted out very soon. You know how it is. It's not a VTuber stream if it's not scuffed.
Yeah.
Yes, rule number 1 of being a VTuber. Expect it to be scuffed.
Mm-hmm. Let me go check. I don't know why that.
Alright, so...
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay. Need to go add. Oh, where is that phone?
Oh, that is huge. Big Kira.
Yeah, there's always got to be some form of like tech difficulty, you know.
True.
Always. Alright, let me just drag your name. I said drag your name. Not letting me drag the name. There we go.
Wait, listen.
Okay. I think... Sure, that works. Alright, I'm gonna go on my chatting screen for the meantime. What? Why is my thing running another ad? What the heck?
Oh no. Twitch, you gotta love the ads, right?
Yeah, I ran one at the beginning so I wouldn't have another one, and now it's having a 2-minute ad break. Crazy work. Okay, I'll just go on my chatting screen until then.
I love how personalized it looks, Kira.
Thank you, thank you.
Alright, and then I just need to
All
put my
right,
stuff.
hello everyone. We're working through some tech things at the moment, but we'll get started as soon as we work those out. And I'm sorry, my Twitch is running another ad break. I tried. Imagine
Switch.
having tech support.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Speaking of tech
I-
support, you will need to click the share together now.
Oh, did I not do that?
No.
Oh,
Oh.
my bad. Let me repost the message that I pinned so that you can pin it if you want to as well.
There, it should be. I hope it's pinned. Yes, it is pinned on my end too now. Yay.
Perfect.
Okay, finally.
Wow.
Wow.
And my ad break is almost done. Great timing. We're professional hosts out here, guys. And
Oh
you know.
yes, 100%. And we do this all the time. What are you talking about?
Honestly, this is pretty accurate to every panel I've ever been to.
Honestly, I want to say that every panel I've been to has been better, but that would make me a liar.
Every panda stream is scuffed. You are right. You are right. It's not a panda stream unless I make it scuffed somehow.
Exactly.
All right. I am ready for
I'm
our
good on my
presentation whenever
end.
you are. Beautiful. Let me switch over to the presentation screen then. All right. Can we see everything? Okay, we can. Amazing.
Alright. Yeah.
What kind of stream is this? It's like an information stream. We're presenting this. So imagine you're at kind of like a convention. In this case, it's a festival hosted by Serenity. And we are just sharing a panel, and ours is VTubing 101. Infomercial. No, not an infomercial. I will not be selling you anything at the end of this.
Did you know that you can buy
Unless-
cute panda merch at her shop?
Shop Noodleball Arcade. It's sponsored. Don't worry, hold on, I got you in case y'all want any cool merch.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, we're taking this seriously. Okay. Is this an April Fool stream? No.
No, this is actually
This
a
is
real
for
stream.
serious.
It just
Yeah, this is
very
a real
unfortunately
stream.
fell on April 1st.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is my only day off. Alright. Okay. Welcome to VTubing 101, an introduction to VTubing.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure at least a few of you know what a VTuber is, but I know that in Serenity's community there might not be people who fully know what a VTuber is. So we are here to educate you.
See, hello Serenity's community. It's nice to meet you all. What's a VTuber? Well, me and Pinky are both VTubers. And you'll learn more about what that means in this presentation, actually.
Mhm.
Now, before we get right into it, Kira and I do have some slides we're gonna go over just to talk about who we are as creators.
Yes. Did you want to introduce what your festival is and who you are first, since you're the host?
Yes, absolutely. Serenity Spring Festival. This is the second year that I've been like hosting this festival. It is a festival that basically is like a whole multitude of fandoms, and we get to have some interesting discussions and interesting panels, and this will take place for the entire month of April 2026.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that you guys can check out, not just our panel. Be sure to join the Discord. I tweeted it yesterday if you guys want to see other panels that other people are hosting.
Hmm.
All right.
All
Well,
right, all right.
let's jump into it.
Yes, up first is Pinky.
Yeah. All right. So, a little bit about me. You can call me Pinky. I'm a live 2D big sister. My job is I do VTuber management. A couple of my hobbies are cooking and baking. Also bacon, because bacon is good. Alright, so I've been streaming for over 6 years. I've been doing over 5 years as a VTuber. I studied at Alara's VTuber Academia, and I've been doing management stuff for over a year.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Pinky's actually my manager too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Wow. Okay.
nice.
Alright. And me, I'm Kira. I'm a 2D VTuber that is a panda girl. I like to refer to myself as a blue panda specifically, though. My job is I am a mascot for the Noodle Bowl Arcade, and I am also an idol. My hobbies include cooking and baking. I love food, and I also love music and art. I have experience with 4+ years of VTubing, 12 years in singing. I am a VTuber idol, like I mentioned, and the mascot of my merch shop.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes, so that is an introduction to who we are, and now we can actually get into more of the info of our panel.
Alright, so,
First off,
what is a VTuber? So, a VTuber is someone who uses a digital avatar to represent them and their persona. A VTuber start out as the shortened version of virtual YouTuber, but has since evolved. Now, there are a few different kinds of VTubers. It's not just the kind you see on screen like Kira. You could be live 2D, but you can also be 3D, using something like a Vroid model. You could be a PNG, with one or more frames, for different emotions. Or you could also be a GIF that reacts to different sounds.
yeah. So examples of like some of that is like I have Serenities and Pinkies, PNGs on my screen.
Yeah.
Obviously on my stream you can see my full 2D. 3D avatars are I don't have any examples of those off the top of my head, but if you ever see like a VTuber concert, they're usually using a 3D avatar.
Yeah, I know a few of my friends are 3D VTubers, just such as Empress_K1, who was in my stream a little bit earlier before going back to work. And there's also Cherry Sprout, who is, I believe, well, she's actually someone I met recently. Very fun person. I do recommend checking her out.
Yeah, there's so many different types of VTubers. Alright, next slide. Why do people even become a VTuber? There can be a lot of reasons for this. Some examples are creative freedom, because you can be anything you want. You design your own persona and your lore. It also gives you comfort and confidence because you don't have to show yourself. It's really great for shy, anxious, or privacy focused creators. Um, Going on to that, it's good for privacy. You can control how much of your real self or your life that you want to share with your community. There's also really cool branding opportunities such as merch, mascot, emotes, and lore drops. Not that you have to be a VTuber to get some of those. I know that there's a lot of other normal YouTubers or gamers who have their own merch, but it can be very helpful to have a already characterized design for things like this. And then there's also a really strong community and connection. People connect with your character and you, and lots of people with shared interests.
Mm.
Yeah. Alright. So, a little bit about how to start as a VTuber. So, if you've ever watched, like, the really big VTubers, like, let's say, Iron Mouse or Nimmy Nightmare, you've seen they've got a lot of very complex stuff. And,
Yes.
I'm gonna be completely real, that stuff is expensive.
It
Very
can be, yeah.
expensive. But it doesn't have to be, because there are customizable models out there that you could get for free or super cheap. And what we mean by that is, it comes with like a base and all these different like preloaded designs, and like you can pick and choose and make it look however you want. It's very
Yeah.
convenient. Now,
I
there,
know a lot of my mutuals who use a customizable model end up getting an actual model based off of those in the future too.
oh yeah, and even people who have like their own custom designed model will sometimes buy those customizable ones so they can just keep, messing around with new looks whenever they feel like. So it's
Mhm.
not a case of you have to use one or the other. Many will use both, and it's fantastic.
True.
Now, one thing though that is very important as starting as a VTuber and just a creator in general, your hardware. Make sure your hardware actually works. Because if you've been following
Yes.
my journey, my hardware died, I replaced my hardware, then I had to replace some of the replacements, and that was very stressful. So make sure
Oh.
your microphone, your headphones, your monitors, all the cables, make sure all of that is up to date, it's good. Don't be running, something from 2010. Because I'm gonna be real, a lot of these things are not gonna they're gonna be too powerful now that they won't work. Which brings us into the specs. Look at the specs you need to run a streaming software. And a few examples of those would be OBS, which is what I'm using. I know some people use Meld Studio, some people use Streamlabs OBS, and then for being a VTuber, if you're doing live 2D, you're probably running VTube Studio. There's also some for like 3D. There's all sorts of things. Honestly, it's very impressive how
Yeah,
far it's come in these years.
it is. But it's also very important that you make sure your computer is capable of running all of these things at once, including whatever you are streaming.
Yes. Don't be like Amelie.
Um, True. That was crazy. I've been there though. I started my journey streaming off a like 10-year-old laptop. All right. You've decided you want to be a VTuber. Well, how do you decide on what you want your brand to be? Well, to be real, no idea will be 100% unique. Every concept has kind of already been done in some form, but what makes it unique and special is your own twist on it. Choose what resonates with you because aesthetics and the themes you love and you can bring in your own personality is what will make you stand out. Also, researching is very essential. You want to find inspiration and styles and trends in even other VTubers and find what about those elements you like. So, let's say you like people like Iron Mouse or Bow, and you want to reference some of those features in your own content. But you have to really also decide what it is about those things that you like. And it's very important. You do not just copy somebody. You want to avoid recreating another VTuber's design or brand. You can mix ideas and add your own identity.
Yes, do not copy. Very important.
Do not copy. We will re-emphasize, do not just copy somebody.
Yes, and on the next slide here, this is a very good example. Now, if you're in the VTuber community, you already know who these two are. But if not,
Yes.
we'll go over it. So, on the left we have Saba, and on the right we have Gura. Now, looking at them, you can see they do have similarities. First of all, they both have like an ocean theme. They're both, let's call them petite in their stature because, you know, they're not very big. Like, let's be real. But you can see some of the differences too. Like, let's look at the shoes, or I guess they're technically sandals. Yes, they're both open foot, but you can see Saba has 2 straps, and Gura has 1 strap with a little sharpie on it. Their tails are different, but yet you can still tell they're both meant to be aquatic. They're both wearing, like, how would you, let's say, like they're not wearing pants, they're wearing like a, what's the best way to describe that kind of outfit? Cause like,
It's like a little a dress.
yeah, like, we'll call it a dress. Although, Gura does have, like, the suspenders. But again, like, you can see, very similar, and even one really big thing I want to bring out is kind of like the hair. Because both have the blue streak, right? And then, like,
And the
both,
side pony.
yeah, both have the side ponytail, but Saba, hers is a much shorter side ponytail, whereas Gura's is longer, and she has more of the blue highlights. And then they have different ears. So again, you can see both share like a similar theme, a similar palette, and a similar fashion style. But what they would differ in would be things like the silhouette. If you were to just make these two, you know, just like black them right out, you would be able to tell, hey, they're 2 different people or designs. And the small details, which I will say, as a VTuber, is these small details actually can go a lot more into your design than you think, because you can do like these little references. Like, I don't have my actual model pulled up, unfortunately, but if you pay like really close attention to the little chains I have, they have a little crown on each and every single one of them.
Aww.
And then, I mean, other things that obviously should be different are your personality and branding. Don't just try and copy and be an exact one-to-one. Be unique. Be yourself.
Yes. Even though sometimes you're like, okay, well, this VTuber got big doing this. Well, it's because it's personal to that person, and trying to be them won't hit the same.
Yeah. Now, we're not saying, though, like, you can't do the same things, but don't do it for the sake of doing it. Do it because it feels like something you do.
I know when I started, I really looked up to a lot of streamers that I liked watching who play horror games, and I implemented that more into my content because it's something I enjoyed watching and also doing. Anyways,
Yeah.
next slide. VTuber debut is... What even is a VTuber debut? Well, a VTuber debut is a celebration of things like a new design, a new brand, a rebrand, or an outfit. Debuts are not needed. They are all unique and personal to the individual. It's more so something that you can choose to do if you want to. Things that you can do is just show off your model or character design. I know a lot of people, when they get new outfits or just a new model in general, they will have a debut to celebrate it with their community. So they can show off things like their references and their assets. What you can include would be showing off new emotes, new overlays, any new music you have made for your channel, or other fun surprises. And you can talk about you and your content during your debuts, such as things that you like, things that you dislike, your hobbies, and your lore. It's kind of like a big get to know me type of situation, or a get to know this new version of why I made this outfit for my character, or why I got a new model type of thing. Yes, yes.
Alright,
Mm.
and now we're going to go into a few resources that will absolutely help you if you want to get started. So, we've mentioned 3D models. So, there's VRoy for modeling, and then you can find model parts right on it's called Booth, which is a very lovely site, and a lot of the stuff on there is super cheap or even free. It's fantastic.
Mhm.
And just want to say, like, Booth is a Japanese website, but it's still very easy to navigate, so don't let that intimidate you. And then, there are pre-made models that you can find on Ko-Fi, vgen, or even Etsy. And then, there are a few examples of some customizable models that we talked about earlier. So these are some popular ones. There's the Prism model, the Suica model, the Liz Meta model, and that's just scratching the surface. Like, there are all sorts. These are just kind of some really big popular ones right now.
Yes. And then here are some examples of finding free and cheap assets. You can look on VGen, Etsy, Booth, Ko-Fi, even Streamlabs or Stream Elements. Their websites can offer assets for your channels like redeems, or like I know on mine I use a lot of sound alerts on my streams, and I get all of those from programs that are associated with Streamlabs and Stream Elements. There's also a ton of shared community assets. There are a lot of VTuber asset Discord groups. You can find them by people posting them or looking them up on like Reddit, or just I think there's even a search option now on Discord that you can find like these servers a lot easier.
Yeah, I
There's
know
also a
if
lot of
you...
VTuber.
I was just gonna say, if anyone's ever heard of, like, Discord to find, like, community servers, you could probably find stuff through there as well.
Oh yeah. Good point. Good point. I know that there's also a lot of VTubers who edit for people or who make a lot of assets will even put together Google folders of the assets that they use a lot and share them publicly with everyone. And you can just ask around the community. If you have a lot of mutuals who are pretty active, you can see like, hey, I saw that you were posting these VTuber memes or trends, and I was curious where you found them. There's also some examples of some asset pages. We have Sunny and Peep on Ko-Fi and Delicarin on VGen. Those
And,
are just two examples.
yeah,
There are a ton more.
yeah. Actually, my Stinger and this PNG that I'm using were both made by Sunny and Peep, and then a bunch of my assets. Although I did, like, commission Deli for them, she does have a shop where you can buy them. Like, just, like, more affordable, but not as, tailored to you.
Yeah, I know that there's also a lot of people who do make art or assets for VTubers. They release a lot of free ones when they're just testing things or learning how to do new techniques, and they'll just release them for free to download. I get a lot of like my ARM assets and stuff that I like to use for thumbnails off of Ko-Fi, and I just look for people on Twitter or Blue Sky who are just posting about their art, and I end up finding ones that I like. Alright.
Alright. And then, if you're tuned in on my end, you're hearing a really nice BGM. Now, BGMs are not required, but they do help fill the void because unless you're always playing a game with music running, it would just be silence and you talking. Not that there's anything wrong with that, of course. But it does just add a little more flavor. Now, you can find them very easily just on vgen and Ko-Fi. Of course, they're, you'll probably be able to find them on Reddit, YouTube, really just about anywhere. But these are two very trusted places, and they usually have it in their TOS saying, hey, all you have to do is credit us and you can use it for free.
Mm-hmm.
So don't be afraid. Ask around the community. A lot of VTubers release free BGM on Twitter, or they'll even do giveaways. And then, this is before I got my own custom. I can personally vouch for Le Valet Kyriam on Ko-Fi and VGen. They had, I think, 20 different BGM for free.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Going off of this, there is actually a new VTuber radio that just started yesterday, and they have adopted a lot of VTuber singers submitted their covers or originals to them, and they are live on YouTube. And hold on, let me find exactly what the page is called for you guys. But that is a good way of like having background music and also supporting the community a little bit. It is called, if I can find it. Oh my goodness, I think I tweet too much. Okay, it's called V Radio and it's by the group Solar. I'll put it in chat for anybody. And I can put it in the Serenity thing too.
Yeah, in case anyone who's listening on the stage wants to check it out, Kira's got the hookup.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to it when I was getting ready for work yesterday. It's really cool seeing all of the other members in this community's performances.
Oh yeah, so many talented people. But we'll get to
Really
that
is.
stuff later.
Yes. Anyways, next. Okay, groups versus agencies. There are a lot of differences. So, for groups, a group is just a group of creators with a shared goal or theme. They usually do not offer payments to the people in their groups. I am personally a part of a group, the one that you see in the little picture called Love Chew, and they happen to offer some merch sometimes for us, but we do not really get paid for it, and it is just a fun bonus. But every group is different. And you also get to keep your IP. So my group has no say over my character, and if I leave the group, I still get to stream as myself. Whereas agencies, they usually are offering payments. In, I guess, a simple way to explain it, it is simply kind of like a job. You get paid. They may or may not own your IP, especially if they assign you one upon entering their agency. And you are contractually bounded when in there. So sometimes they will have certain things you are allowed to do, some things that you aren't allowed to do if you're going to be in their agency. Things like that. That is the biggest differences between the two.
And just as someone who studied business, please read the contract. Otherwise,
Yes.
you get into a V-Shoujo incident.
Yes. There have been a lot of things that go wrong, so do your research if you're going to join either of these, actually. Do not be associated with people you're not in support of.
Yeah, there's one group in particular, I won't say the name, but they've just right from the get-go of their name, people were not happy, and it was a dumpster fire. So definitely make sure if you're joining a group, you align with them. Now, what is vgen? We've been talking about that a lot. And I mean a lot. So vgen is a website for artists and studios to sell their art. You can find anything there, from art to music to management services like talent management and lots more. One of the best things is this is AI free. If you come across any AI, report it immediately and it can be taken down within minutes. They do not support AI, and neither should you. And like, a lot of members in the community run their commissions through VGen, so you're gonna be supporting the VTuber community as well as guaranteed to get. You're gonna get a lot of good stuff on there.
Yes. I've gotten some great commissions off of VGen. All right.
Nice.
Handling merchandise. So there's kind of two different versions of merch. You can either want to do your own merch and you can choose to sell it yourself, or you can go and work with a company and have them produce and sell it for you. Examples of things like this is Vograce. They are just a producer of merch, so you have to submit the designs yourself and sell it yourself, but they will make it for you. And then there's Ko-Fi, which is an example of a place where you can sell your merch, but they don't produce anything for you. Etsy is the same way as Ko-Fi. You can sell merch, but they do not produce anything. Uwu Market is an example of a company that both produces the merch for you and sells it for you. It's the same with Fourth Wall. They produce and sell the merch for you.
Now, just one thing to go over is, because Uwu Market and Fourth Wall produce and sell, they do give you a contract. So just make sure you read their terms and conditions.
Yes. And also, I believe, I can't say for certain with Fourth Wall, but like for Uwu Market to work with them, most of the time you either have to apply to be a partner and get merch with them, or you have to use one of their specific merch packages.
Yeah, they do it two ways. You can either like apply and hope they say yes, or you can just buy in. But yeah, moving on. As we were saying, avoiding Gen AI. Because first, when we say AI, we're talking about Gen AI, not the AI that you find in a video game. Those are two very different things.
Yes, there is a difference.
Yeah. So, avoiding Gen AI. Please support real artists. VTubing is built on artists, riggers, and musicians. Commissions help sustain the community. Why Gen AI can be harmful? Many tools are trained on artists' work without their consent. It can devalue creative and original work. It's plagiarism. If you've ever done an essay and you just copied from someone else, that's plagiarism. Gen AI is the same thing. Reputation.
Yes.
Using AI can turn people away, and your brand feels more genuine when it's human-made. Now, people will be talking, what about AI VTubers and mascots? The most popular one there is Nero-sama. These are different because they are created and programmed by their creator. They were not generated from stolen or mass-produced content. AI is used as a tool for creation, not a shortcut to replace creators or work. So, although Kira doesn't have them up, she does have like AI mascots that can talk. If you want to just mention a little bit about them.
Yeah, so similar to Neurosama, if you're not familiar with her, the same with my mascots. I can pull them up briefly for a second. There they are. These mascots that are behind me are, oh, sorry, I'm blocking them. They are also AI programs, but I did not feed them into a generative AI for them to work. I made them myself. So everything that they say and do and interact with my chat was programmed by me to get them to interact the way I want. And they are a little, again, they're different than generative AI. It's similar to what you can expect from video games that use AI. There's actually people behind them coding, writing their personalities and stuff like that. But they're using it to give a unique experience to the audience. Because it can be helpful in ways that are like, okay, I want it to be personalized to the person who's interacting with this. Like Neurosama, she can talk to the chat back and interact with other people that are talking to her. But she's just not a real person behind it. All I'm saying is sometimes my AI teammates are smarter than real ones. Yes, there's definitely advantages to using it if you use it in an appropriate and right way that is not stealing from other people. And then starting as an idol, I mentioned at the start of this presentation that I am also an idol. And that is actually a very big part of the VTubing community. You might see a VTuber and be like, why does every VTuber decide to sing or perform in some way? And it's because it's a very incorporative part of the community. A bit about what an idol VTuber even is they have content focused on their performance, including singing, dancing, things like that. It's often tied to a stage-ready type of persona, and they are also usually inspired by Japanese or K-pop culture. So in my idol group, we are a type of idol that is inspired by Japanese cultures. Why would you want to choose to be a VTuber idol? Examples of this can be you just really love music or performing. And there's also lots of opportunities for concerts, covers, or events. I've started as an idol and I've been able to work with a lot of other VTubers or musicians, and that's been amazing. I've, again, been singing for over 12 years, so being able to expand that inside my community and with people who share the same passion has been great. What the difference really is if you're just an idol VTuber, maybe most of your content is focused on performance, where if you're a normal variety VTuber, your content is focused on your personality or the games, or if you have a certain niche like ASMR, that's what your content will be focused on. You can be both. I like to see myself as both. I like to be more of a variety streamer when I am live on Twitch. I like to incorporate the games I play, but outside of that, I incorporate a lot of my idol activities. I do covers pretty often. I'm hosting my own singing event. I participated in concerts, things like that. But it is also dependent on your dedication to your craft because there does come some expectations with being an idol. This can be you have to have higher consistency, you want to dedicate more time to practicing and improving. You will be making a higher level of content because you need to incorporate more covers, more events, and sometimes being an idol means you have to maintain something called an idol image. If you're used to K-pop, you'll know that a lot of them have to differentiate their idol stuff with their personal stuff, and you just have to be a lot more professional and careful about things because you are interacting with the community in a more professional way. But at the end of the day, a lot of it is just about your love for the craft that you're doing.
Yeah.
And that's all we have for the information.
Wow, that is so informative.
Thank
Very,
you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
very.
And we still
Yeah.
have some time if anyone in chat wants to ask a question or two, we could probably do 5 or maybe 10 minutes.
Yeah, we do have a lot of information that we covered, and we didn't go into super depth about all of them. So if you have any specific questions you want to elaborate on more, feel free. It was a very informative stream, yes.
We're glad, because that is exactly what we
Ooh, okay.
would like to do. And oh, looks like Kevin has a question. So Kevin is asking me, what's it like to be a V manager, and how does one become one for anyone who may be interested? Very good. So, when it comes to being a V manager, you can actually break that down even further, because there's a lot of different kinds of management you can do. It
Mhm.
really depends, first of all, where you think your strengths lie. Some managers excel at doing analytics, so they can sit down, look at each and every stream you do, immediately recognize patterns and see, okay, here's what you can do for growth, do this, and you will grow. And some of them that I have seen who do that, they are indeed very good at that. Others are much better at networking, so they can sniff out the opportunities, get you in contact with pretty much any connection you would want. So, looking for an artist with a style, looking just to collab with new people, you want to join a concert or something. And then, honestly, well, one other thing. So, how does one become a manager? Well, some just kind of have a knack for it. But I would say it helps to have a background working in business. So whether you studied management in university, or you were, heck, even if you were just manager at your local Walmart, that just gives you a little bit more time, because you practice some of those skills. And then for actually starting as specifically a V manager, you can post on Twitter, Reddit, Blue Sky, Fiverr even. Basically say, hey, I'm looking for clients, but just be aware that if you don't have an established client base, you're probably gonna have to start working for free or really cheap, so that people know what you can do. But I will say, just one small thing. Let's say you have experience at, with conventions, setting those up. You can use that as previous experience, and people will be a little more comfortable coming to you, because they see, you at least have some kind of experience managing other people, even if it's not specifically VTubers or other creators.
Wow. That's a very, very great answer.
Yeah. From a client's perspective, when I was looking for a manager, I kind of wrote down a list of what I needed help with in those areas. And something that me and Pinky do a lot, as I am an idol, I go through a lot of auditions, and I really just needed help with somebody helping me with those, being a second opinion to the answers on application forms, or even just my video submissions to these things, so I can apply for more things like voice acting or concerts and stuff like that. And that's my focus of what I wanted. So there's definitely different niches, and you can look into what you would want to offer for your clients specifically.
Mm.
We did also get another question. Um, It was, how long did it take to choose what your design or brand for your VTuber would be?
That is a good one.
I can start this one off if you want to think about your answer.
Well, I'll let you go since I just gave an answer.
Okay, perfect. For me, I kind of based a lot of my brand off of things that I really love. Um, I've always loved like bears and stuff like that, so I knew that was something I wanted to incorporate in my design. It just resonates with me, feels like myself. And then for my branding, a lot of that it was just came with like the passions I have. So if you come to my streams, the content I do has to do with the things I'm interested in, like horror and um like my favorite game is Overwatch. I really like the characters in that. They resonate with me. And then for those who don't know, my whole branding is that I am a panda who runs a shop called the Noodle Bowl Arcade based off of my love for food and retro themes. And I incorporate that really heavily into my streams because I love world building and I want my community to feel as much a part of that as I feel. So definitely just looking into your interests. How I designed my character was based off of things that I love, like my favorite animals, my favorite colors, actual aesthetics and themes that I like in real life. I wanted to incorporate. But you can also take it like, okay, maybe you don't want to dress like that in real life, but you've always liked a certain design and you want to bring that into your persona. You can do that. You can expand it to be more than what you would want to do in real life.
Very well said. Very well said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. So for me, how long did it take to choose my brand? Well, design and brand. So, if you've been here long enough, you know that I started out as a pink sheep.
Aw,
Yes.
cute.
Yeah, so
Aw.
it was during the Pokemon Sword and Shield era, so I was based off a pink Wooloo. Because, well, Pinkie came from Pinkie Pie, since everyone kind of associated me with her and, having similar personalities. So I took Pinkie Pie, Wooloo, put them together, then I slowly changed that, but then I decided it wasn't quite right. Like, it was a good design, but I decided. Well, there's also a lot of confusion because people who were new didn't realize I was supposed to be a sheep, since you couldn't see the horns very well. I mean, if you've ever looked at Wooloo, like, they're tinier horns. So, that's kind of why I did, like, a huge change, and I took pieces of characters I liked, and just general design elements from anime that I enjoy, like, you all know I love the drill curls.
Yeah.
So like, when I was designing it and working with Sunny and Peep, yes, she's the one who did my designs, she was like, okay, we can incorporate, like, I gave her kind of a list of, like, well, it wasn't just her, but, like, when it came to actually sketching out the model, after she had kind of some references and stuff from what I liked or from other artists, then it's like, okay, we can take this, we can take, just like your hobbies, so, like, my original design for, having the curls and all that, my dress actually had sprinkles on it, because I do like to bake and cook and stuff. And then, kind of when I did an updated design, like, we kept some of the same things, like the drill curls and, being blonde, but for the outfit, we started leaning more into the Turkish belly dancer, because one of my favorite series is Shantae, and she's a belly dancer. But we've also stayed consistent with the palette, because so the palette was originally like lots of pinks and then some blues and yellows. It was the Pinkie Pie palette, and I still have those colors, but we've just kind of modified like how much we use them and how. So instead of, solid pinks, we do an ombre from the pink into the blue.
Ooh.
You brought up a lot of good points about how your design has changed. It made me think about my previous model that I had before this. I've always had the same since I've started. I've always been the same character. I didn't change that, but when I changed my model to what I have now is because my previous design, everybody said I looked like a maid, and I and I didn't want people to think I was a maid. So when I redesigned, I changed a lot of my outfits to fit a different aesthetic that felt more unique to me, but I kept the same palette like you did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also incorporated more details that I felt made it feel more like a panda, since I'm not a traditional panda color. I altered some details like how fluffy my ears are, and more panda details, like you can see the little panda beret I have. I have panda shapes on my belts and stuff like that. And then I've also took some inspiration from animes I like, because I have multiple outfits. So like this outfit is based off of one of my favorite animes, as Miss Beelzebub likes. It is the same style dress she wears, but obviously in my color palette. And the details are a little bit different to feel more like me. Yeah, so you can get creative, and definitely kind of like how we talked about in the slide earlier, looking at multiple things that you're interested in and incorporating the details that you really love in those, like how Pinky incorporated the drill curls in the color palette. Those are big things to start with.
And
Mhm.
although we didn't cover it in the slide, there are artists who will do commissions for outfit designs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you...
Oh, there's also sorry, I was
Oh,
gonna say there's also people who just design outfits and will sell them all the time. So you can find people who have already designed outfits. I know one of your other clients, Pinky, actually has a couple outfits that she's adopted from other people that she incorporated to her model, but weren't designed specifically for her character.
yeah, there's one who... She loves buying those adoptable outfits. And I mean, I don't
Yeah.
blame her, because some of those are really good quality. And for
Mhm.
that cheap, like, it's a steal. We love a good bargain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think we have time for maybe one more question.
Yes. Does anybody else have anything to ask?
Yeah, it could be from, you know, in the stage, in one of the chats, or even if Serenity has a question.
Ooh, okay, I see
Oh,
one from Mayo. In the side chat here. How's the VTubing journey? I guess they're asking like overall, I guess.
well,
Mm.
we can only really speak from our experiences, but I mean, for some it goes really well, like, they can start VTubing, and I know one person who, within 3 months, they managed to hit the... What do I want to say? So within 3 months, they basically went from nobody to hidden partner. But then there are some people
Mm.
who have gone... They can go 6 years as a VTuber before hitting partner. So there is no one-size-fits-all.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I think some of the good advice that I've heard in my journey is people saying, don't compare your chapter 2 to somebody else's chapter 6, because it's very individual to how people kind of just end up in this community and like how they progress. Some people have a lot of connections behind the scene, and so what you see might not be the full picture. And also, a lot of it depends on how much effort and work you want to put into this hobby, because it is a hobby at the end of the day. So sometimes you just want to do it for fun and you don't really care about growing the same way somebody else does. I've always just tried to make sure I'm enjoying what I'm doing in the present. And it's come with a lot of great opportunities. And it's also come with a lot of different ways that I've wanted to keep growing or change how I've been doing things.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like, I kind of feel like, everyone has like their own story,
Mm-hmm.
how they get in
Mm-hmm.
it,
Yep.
it's like you guys have been mentioning, like there's no one size fits all. Like everyone has like different stories of how they get into it. So
I agree. Yes, yes. It looks like we missed a small question from chat as well. Somebody was asking pretty much how do we handle people being like they said goobers, which seems like a nicer way to say how do we handle people who are interacting in our chat or communities that we're not completely comfortable with.
Oh, no,
And
I know exactly. This is actually my IRL best friend. So, they've seen me actually doing my management stuff while they've been visiting. The answer is a lot of iced tea. Sometimes I don't sleep. And I pray that at least if I'm dealing with Kira, it's really smooth because she is very clear about what she wants. Some people will be like, "Hey, I want to do this. Can you help?" And I'm like, "Can I? I mean, I can kind of help, but at least point me in the right direction. Don't just come in DM saying karaoke. Like, what part of it? Like, are you looking for help with reverb or like picking a set list or using the set list bot? Like, just give me something to work with, you know?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then my mod brought up something that is a little bit related, but to managing how when you're a VTuber yourself, managing your own goobers of your community. um, mods do help. Not everybody has a mod though, so there's definitely cool things like Seribot that helps
Mm-hmm.
manage things for you. Um, but also just being really confident in what type of vibe you want to bring with your community. There's a lot of different VTubers, and there's things like being like say so, unsay so, and just be very, I guess, strong in what the type of community you want is. I know sometimes people want to act a certain way in your chat, and if you're uncomfortable with it, it's your community first, and you can establish what that feels like and making sure you're comfortable with the goobers you let in to interact with you.
Yes, it's all about your boundaries, and even this is very important. I cannot stress this enough. You can ban someone even if they don't break a rule, just because you say they don't pass the vibe check. Don't be thinking, this person's making me very uncomfortable, but technically they haven't broken a rule, so I'll just leave them. Like, no, if they make you uncomfortable, they don't pass the vibe check, just kick them out. Because if you're uncomfortable,
Yes.
I guarantee your community feels the same way.
Mm.
But yeah, that is all the time I've got. So,
Yeah, I think that covers everything.
Okay, awesome. I want to thank you both, Pinky and Kira, for coming on to Serenity Spring Festival to give like your guys' insight into like the VTubing community. It was very, very insightful and very informative.
oh yeah, we had a
Well,
lot of
thank you for
fun.
having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah,
Um,
it was such a pleasure because like because I feel like not a lot of people, who aren't VTubers, don't really know, and
mhm.
you guys were very insightful about that from your guys' experiences.
Thank
Yeah, we
you.
wanted to make it easy to understand. Because, I mean, if we really wanted to, we could do, like, advanced VTubing, but that would be a much longer presentation. But
Yes.
just saying, I
Yeah.
mean, if you ever want us to do one of those, I mean, hit us up. Wink, wink.
We have all the information and experience to offer you guys.
All right.